All right, so I got to make up some bottles of water today. It's a 3-hour workout here on my stationary bike in my living room. Not exactly looking forward to it just because it's a bit boring. I don't mind the amount of time. If I was outside running, I'd be looking forward to today, especially if it's out running the trails. I absolutely love doing that. It's by far my favorite thing to do when it comes to running, but I'm not up to that yet. So in my living room it is. I'm making up a number of bottles of water because it's also going to get pretty warm in here. I'm actually going to make up, I think, 5 bottles of water to get me through those 3 hours. And I'm going to be using GNARLY as my hydration mix of choice for today. All right, so I'm going to get into making these waters up and then we'll talk more here in just a couple minutes. All right, so I got my water all made up. It's lined up. What I'll do is I'll bring over a bar stool, set it next to my bike so I've got those waters within easy reach so I don't have to stop and get off my stationary bike in order to retrieve them when I need them. And as I mentioned, today is the long run, or what would be the long run. The format is to go for 2.5 hours at an easy pace, and then to go last 30 minutes at what would be my marathon pace. Now, obviously, it's a bit tricky trying to convert this stuff over to a stationary bike and, try to honor the intent of the workout. And the only way that I can really do that, or that I know how to do that, if you guys have a better idea, that's great. I'd love to hear it. Maybe we can talk about that in the comment section below, how you might convert over a running workout to one that you're doing on a stationary bike, or maybe you're using a rowing machine or swimming or what have you. But the only way that I really know how to do it is to use my heart rate. So I went back and I looked at my last 3 marathons last year, so Boston, Chicago, and New York, and tried to see what my heart rate was. And it was averaging in the high 150s. So I think 156, 158. I'm not exactly sure right off the top of my head, but it was in the mid to high 150s beats per minute. So when I get to that last 30 minutes, I'm going to be paying close attention to that, trying to keep my heart rate up in that range. So that way, at least I know my heart is working about as hard as it would be if I were running a marathon. So that's what I'm going to do today. Fingers crossed. I think it's going to get me close, right, to at least honor the intent of the workout I'm trying to do today. But I've got a couple of minutes. I'm just going to finish off my coffee. This is my second cup. I'm a 2 cup a day, sometimes 3 cups a day, especially if I'm doing coffee of the day, which I'm probably not going to do that today because I don't, I'm through that Advent calendar. So if I'm going to continue to do coffee of the day, it might be just once a week where I pick up some unusual brand that I haven't had before, or a small box of unusual brand, because I don't want to get stuck with a bunch of coffee that I don't like. So I'll figure that out as we go. Okay, so I am going to jump on my stationary bike and I'm going to get into this one because, again, it is a long workout. So I'm going to be watching a little bit of television throughout my journey. What I like to do is to chunk it up into 20-minute sections. And I mentioned this before, where I'll go like 18 minutes and then have 2 minutes out of the saddle. So I'll come up out of the saddle for 18 minutes and I'll sit down for 2 minutes just to shake everything off, because on my back, shoulders, everything starts to get a little wonky, if I'm up out of the saddle for too long. And it gives me something to look forward to, something a little bit different. And then I'll just repeat that 20-minute block or segment over and over until I finish the workout. So it's going to be, nearly 9-10 times that I'll be going through that 20-minute block to get through today's workout. All right, so enough about all of that. I took some shots of my cats. So I thought I'd just share it with you, my little cat family. My kids are grown adults. They're both married and they're out doing wonderful things in the world. But I still have, Kim and I still have our little cat family here at home. So Sparty is the all-black cat. And then Bella, you've met many times in the past. And then Marty, or what we call him Little Bit, because when we got him, he was just a little bitty thing. But now he's the biggest of the 3 cats that we have now. So all right, you guys, hope you're having a great day, and I'm going to get into this workout. We'll talk a little bit more through throughout the session. All right. I'm going to get into this one. Oh boy, so the first 20-minute section is done, so I still have a long ways to go. But it's going, so far I'd say, it's going okay. You know, my legs feel pretty fresh still at this point, which they should, but it feels mentally a little bit daunting to think that, you know, I've got so much more time to go, 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's where breaking it up into smaller chunks really does help mentally for me to be able to push through. And I like being able to, like I said, come down out of the, out of the stirrups, sit down in the saddle. It also reminds me to drink, because this type of a long workout, it's going to get pretty easy to get dehydrated if I don't stay on top of it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Get a couple of drinks, and then I'll probably check back with you, maybe midway through the workout. All right. We'll see you then. Okay, so the other piece, aside from staying hydrated, is to ensure that, I have enough energy to be able to make it to the end. So my go-to is the Martin gels. This is gel 100. On marathon day, I'll take 5 with me. I'll have one that's caffeinated right before I start, and then about every 40 minutes, I'll take another one. But I'll alternate. So I'll have one with caffeine right before the race, and then one without, 40 minutes in, and then a caffeinated one at 80 minutes, and so on. That seems to work out pretty well for me. I've tried other, fueling strategies, but the Martin gels, about every 40 minutes for me seems to work pretty well. I don't feel like I've, run out of energy, at the end. I might be tired, my legs might be tired. But in terms of calories and carbs and all those kinds of good things, that strategy seems to work. All right. I keep spinning my legs out because I still have a long ways to go. Oh boy, so the 3 hours is complete. I think I did a pretty good job the last 30 minutes, getting my heart rate up to the 150 range, which again for me, that is, the mid 150s to upper 150s is basically what my heart beats per minute are when I'm running a marathon on average. But I think I did a pretty good job of that. I didn't have to really up my cadence at all when I got to that point, because just the heat of, in the amount of time I'd already put in, just trying to maintain basically at 70 RPMs per minute at that resistance level 8. That was enough. By the time I got to that 30 minutes, my heart rate was up, and all I needed to do was just focus on maintaining the pace. So, all right. I am tired, so I've got a few minutes here that I'm just going to spin my legs out, about 10 minutes. So the total workout will be at 3 hours and 10 minutes. So, all right, we'll take a look at the numbers. Oh boy, so I'm glad to have that workout over with. Getting off the stationary bike was a bit of a trick. my legs are pretty tired. You know, I was just a little bit unstable getting off of the stationary bike today after 3 hours and 12 minutes all together. But I'm going to say distance was 86.77 kilometers, so we went quite a ways on that stationary bike today. 248.9 was the average watts or power. 74 was the frequency or the RPMs, my cadence. Resistance level of 8 pretty much throughout the entire workout. Oh my goodness, I am just drenched from head to toe. And I've kind of lost my voice, which is a little bit strange, but that does happen to me from time to time after a long, extended workout for some reason. All right, guys, I got to go jump in the shower and wash this workout off and then get busy putting a video together for all of you so I can share it. And you guys share your experiences. How's things going with you guys? I still got a ways to go to heal. But hopefully, I got a handful of weeks yet that it'll be strong enough, that I'll be confident enough to be able to run it. But I'd love to hear how you guys are doing. I hope that you're all healthy, happy, healthy, and staying safe. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you. As always, run tall, run strong, and kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.